Here we go. OnlyFans.com/Louis J. Gomez. We are back here with Tim Dillon. Last time Tim Dillon was on, Eric lost half of the episode, and it was infuriating. So hopefully we get all of the episode this time. I mean, just don't even get me going. Very unprofessional. Tim, what would you do if your producer lost half of an episode?
I would emotionally terrorize him for 6 months. I mean, you know what it would be? For the first couple of weeks would be very intense. That would tell me he had no worth as a person. Every now and then I look at him and I go, you're nothing. I say that to him because they need to remember. These producers start thinking the people are fans of that. It's crazy. The producers start thinking that they are running the show and they're the reason you're successful. It's like absurd.
Dude, one time I had a production meeting. We have weekly production meetings at Gas Digital, if you can believe it or not. I'm talking about like the entire team, 14 people on a fucking Zoom call. We're discussing ideas. We're fucking, going back and forth and fucking saying, like, why is this show growing? Why is this show not growing? What's here? What do we got to do here? What's going on with this YouTube? We do this every single week. And one time I was just in whatever mood I was in, I just was going. I gave a speech. We were talking about producing as a thankless job, and I was like, "Look, nobody cares about producers. No, tell me the fucking name of the producer from the Avengers. Nobody knows.
Nobody cares."
They all started getting butthurt and naming the producers from the Avengers. It was like, well, there's this. It was like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Every now and then we had friends over the house the other day, and Ben, my producer, was explaining to them like how he mixed the audio. And he's like, what I do is I lay the 2 tracks. And I walked over to him and I said, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares.
It's like somebody who works in a fucking, like a slaughterhouse being like, so what you got to do is you have to cut the throat of the cow. Hold on, like you're about to eat a bite of a burger. And they're like, no, let me explain how it works. You got to slice the throat of the cow and let it bleed out. Like, shut up. Just shut up. You're fucking depressing me with this horse shit.
Yeah. It's like, just shut up. And hopefully we don't realize that your job can be done by an app in 6 months.
We're so close. We are so close. Dude, every Gas Digital show has 2 producers per show. 2.
Right. That's so funny.
And by the way, it's not even, there's 2 producers on this Zoom call right now. The reason we have to pay 2 Zoom producers. 2 producers is because one producer cannot be trusted to not lose half the episode.
Amazing.
It's just a backup. We have another person recording as a backup right now.
Yeah, well, they think it's an art. They think they're artists, and then this is art. And so every now and then what you got to do is just, you don't have to, I don't abuse like Ellen does, but I just do little things, little needling every now and then. Like every now and then you look at them and you go, so what do you think you'd be doing if you weren't doing this? And then they don't have an answer. And then you go, okay, I'm ready to record. It's just little things. Like he said the other day, my guy says to me, who I love Ben. He says to me, he goes like this. He goes, me and my wife are thinking of maybe moving to Agora Hills. I said, Agora Hills? Bitch, you move where I say you move. You don't move anywhere. If I stop talking, you die in the street. You don't move to Agora Hills.
It's funny you mentioned Ellen because that's exactly what happens when you let your producers get all uppity. They start raping people, okay? They start raping interns and young women because you allow them to have the ego that their job is important.
Right. It's absolutely true.
It's 100% the truth. The Ellen producers, you know what it all started with? It's all started with fucking Gelman on Regis and Kathy Lee.
Yes.
That was the original podcast producer where they threw the camera on this fucking nebbishy Jew and they were like, you're interesting. Let's make fun of him a little bit. And then everyone followed suit.
Yeah. Do you know that Gelman is Gary Goldman's father?
Yeah, call me Mr. Gelman. I'm telling you, fucking, it's
you're being attacked by porn stars. What controversy have you found yourself in now?
Well, so where are we at right now in my life, by the way, Tim Dillon? First of all, how are you, Tim? Where are you at right now? You said you're in the desert?
I'm in the desert. I'm just chilling in the desert, waiting for shit to come back. Fired my manager, no more manager.
No more manager.
Yeah, because you're like, what do you
Why
do?
are you giving the extra 10% away? They're not doing anything.
They're not doing any. And then like you call them and you're like, they're like making up jobs they do that I know don't exist, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, well, you know, you get a lot of offers, and then we try to figure out which. I'm like, no, I don't get a lot of offers.
And let me also say this.
There are there. Yeah.
Any offers that I get, say yes. Right now.
Take them. Yeah. They go like this. He goes, yeah. You know, all the offers we get, we try to make sure it's really right for you. We're looking long term. I was like, where are the offers? They go, well, you know, there's a lot of. I mean, they're all just full of shit. And so I got rid of them. So now I'm just kind of like.
Well, that's what they are. Is they're like when you go to like a body shop in like the suburb of Long Island, and you bring your car in, and they could recognize a mark where we don't know what's going on with our car. So you go in, and now all of a sudden there's $4,000 worth of problems when it was just the check engine light.
Yeah, they just get in our head. They get in our head and convince us that they're necessary. They're not. And so I'm just chilling.
That's what they do. That's what a manager is. They constantly are turning on the check engine light in our career, and we have to sit there and go like, "Oh, what's going on?" They're like, "No, don't worry about it. I got it. Don't you worry. Go relax. Go home." And the reality is, there's no real fucking problem. There's not really doing anything. I fired my assistant. I shouldn't say fired. That's a wrong. There's a very negative connotation. I had a personal assistant that I was working with for a little while. There's just nothing to be done right now. I have no flights. I have no appointments. I have what am I going to do? I feel bad.
That's why, by the way, now is the time. This is for anybody that owns a small business or whatever. Now is the time to fire the people you want to fire, because you have the excuse. Right. Like you go, I don't need to be in this business relationship that's unhealthy, that doesn't make any sense. This is the perfect excuse to get out of it. And then when things start back up again, you're out of it, and you're not paying commission to a person you don't want to, or you're not in a relationship in a business sense with somebody who you don't want to be with, you know? So I was just like, I'm going to just go, because if you stick with them through like 6 months of this, then they're going to be like, well, we stuck with you through the pandemic. Now you owe us 10% of all your live dates. It's like, no, I don't.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah,
so
we'll see what's going to happen. I just had a great conversation with Dr. Steve, also available right here on the OnlyFans channel. If you guys haven't heard that interview with me and Dr. Steve, he's great, dude. He really is smart, and he made me finally feel positive about what's going on, just with sort of where we're at with treatments. And, you know, he told me with a clear conscience, I don't think Dr. Steve would have said it, that he thinks that Skankfest South will be happening March 26th through 28th.
When is that? Next March? Is that next March?
Next March.
Yeah, that may happen. I mean, it's a year, so it's a little under a year, but it's a long time.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. So, yeah, Tim, I've been trying to stay out of drama. Okay, you know,
I know you try and fail at that more than anyone I know.
It finds me. I don't know what
you trying to stay out of drama is like me trying to stay out of a refrigerator.
It's true.
It's very true.
You love it. I love it too. What am I supposed to say? And the other, can I say this as well? Like, I know a lot of my fans love it too. Like, they love, like, not even just my fans. Like, I know people just in general. I have people that you'd be surprised, like celebrities, text me and be like, dude, I just love watching you on Twitter. Just go at people. Like, people, like, they like, you're a similar guy where you just, you know, you don't go at people. You're not as argumentative so much so. You're very opinionated. You have you're a great Twitter follow. Anybody who's not following Tim J. Dillon on Twitter.
A lot of the people I go at are people that would never acknowledge me. So like Chelsea Handler will never fight with me. Ellen will never fight with me. So it's one-sided, but I have a lot of fun with it, but it's usually one-sided.
Yeah. So for me, I like to punch down. I'm what they call a bully.
Yeah.
I like to bully people that
you
don't
do.
have careers.
I mean, you do get in feuds with people that are far below you in comedy and followers and stature and everything.
There's no aspect.
That's
like Jake
fun,
Flores,
by the way.
There's no metric in which Jake Flores is beating me. Like, I can't please, Tim, please. Right. I want you to tell me a metric in which Jake Flores is beating me. He's ahead of me in whatever.
I'll tell you one. He's doing better in the porn industry than you are.
That's probably not even true.
Okay.
I was in a porno once. People don't know this about me. I hope people find it one day, okay? Because it's Dave Smith fucking a chick. Or no, he's getting his dick sucked by a chick.
You're in the porn?
And okay, so Dave Smith's getting his dick sucked. Our faces are blurred out. It's like one of these hotel room porns with some fucking just
Yeah.
horror. Dave Smith
Right.
is getting his dick sucked. This is a video that was released. Okay, I've tried to find it since. Good luck. You'll never be able to find it with our names involved. I won't say the name of the company because Dave would fucking kill me if it did come out because it's fucking,
Right.
it's a straight up porno. But this chick is sucking Dave's dick. When you watch, it's so funny on camera. Imagine her pussy's right here. You just watch my hand come into frame like this, and you see my tattoo. This exact tattoo, and I'm just like, fingering her from behind
That's
while
hilarious.
she's sucking Dave's dick, and it's great. So I'm not. I will say that is a more impressive porn performance because Jake was lapping up his own cum while women punch him in the dick and the balls.
Well, sure. I mean, I haven't seen the film, and I wish him the best. I don't know him. I know he doesn't like me. I've met him once. He's done comedy. I've done comedy for 10 years in New York City, and I've met him one time. So he's worked hard. And, these people, they start to become like, I don't know, they're kind of like fans, right? It's like almost arguing with a fan.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's he's a guy that regularly mentions me, regularly tweets about me.
He's always mentioning people that have followings or that he seems to, but that seems to be what he like. That's his strategy. It's a poor strategy. It's not. It doesn't work. But I guess it works if you want to make like $1,100 a month for the rest of your life.
Yeah, here's the thing, like, I don't care to shame this guy. This is the funniest part of all of it. It's like, he's like, the Legion of Skanks guys are bullying me over this cum-eating porno. We do gay shit to be funny all the time.
You're not moralist. You don't care what he does.
No, like, at all. Like, even in the slightest bit, right? We don't give a fuck what you do.
Right.
But he's such a fucking cunt that it's like anything that could be left on the table, we would make fun of him for. And this one in particular, I wasn't even going to make fun of him, Tim. I sort of have this like moral code in my head where I'm like, well, I'm not going to fucking make fun of a guy for doing weird shit with his dick on camera or off camera. I don't really give a shit. So I'd rather just sort of be true to myself. But then he goes on Twitter and goes nuclear, so then I have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think eventually with him, it'll get boring.
For me?
It'll be boring. Yeah, eventually it'll get boring, I think.
It's already a little bit boring.
It's the same episode with him. Like, it's the same. Like, I blocked him 2 years ago because I would argue with him all the time. And then I'm just like, I'm bored, and he's zapping like my creative energy. And I'm like, and I just want to make money and not be bored. And eventually you'll get there because you'll be like, you'll just ignore him. It'll be like he'll be a fan, like he'll be a troll on Twitter that you go, okay, I could spend an hour with this guy, or I could just fucking, who knows, take James to the park, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's the other part of it is that, like, I think my fans enjoy when I go at people.
Yeah, but they'll want a new one. They're gonna want a new one.
Yeah, they will want a new one.
They'll want a new one.
It's like almost like taxing on me to argue with people regularly. Like, this is why I watch people do it with Dave Smith, because it's not
built for it.
Like, for me, most of the time when I'm arguing with somebody on Twitter or social media, there's a sense of lightheartedness for me anyway. Maybe it doesn't come off that way, I don't know, but like, I am just fucking around. When I say fight me, I'm like, oh, come meet me in a parking lot and say that to my face. Like, I'm just kidding. Like, I'm not actually being serious. Like, I hope people do understand that. Like, I'm just like, I sort of fuck around and I'll say whatever on social media sometimes. But Dave Smith really, really fucking cares about politics and believes in it. And he goes at these people, and people are like, fucking go. He's going back and forth, and it becomes this volley where I'm going like, I would have to disconnect from that eventually. Yeah, I could, because it like, does.
You know who's like that is like Candace Owens, the black conservative.
Yeah.
So every day, like, it'll be 8:30 in the morning, and she's like on Twitter in fighting, and I'm like, whoa! Like, I just every day to wake up and be like, I want to fight and argue, And by the way, about shit that doesn't change. These motherfuckers, like, I respect Dave, I love him, but like, he knows this. Shit doesn't ever change.
Yeah, you're never
Like,
going to convince somebody with a tweet.
Dude, I watched the Roseanne show in 1998, not her show, but she had a talk show. The Roseanne show in 1998, she had Donald Trump and Michael Moore on. You know what they're talking about? Same shit they're talking about now. The 1% own, the 50%. It's, you know, I mean, it's like, you can spend your whole life in that world. And I get it if that's how you make your money and that's what you're doing, your hustle. But it's like, dude, there's just so, like, nothing ever changes. There's going to be the same arguments that we've been having forever and ever and ever. Are people too rich? Are people too poor? Are people too... And eventually, like, I hate to be cynical, but eventually you got to just step. Me and you come from a time of individuality where people are allowed to be individuals. Now everybody wants to be in a group. This is the biggest difference between me and you and everybody else. Me and you never, like, we came from this place of, like, the highest version of something you could be was just being an individual and being successful at that, being your own thing, having your own business, charting your own car. Now everybody's like, I'm gay, I'm black, I'm trans, I'm this, I'm white, I'm a white man. Feel bad for me for that. I'm a lesbian, indigenous gymnast who's disabled. Feel bad. I'm a pregnant man in MMA. Feel bad. It's like all of these fucking things, and it's like, no, dude, you're John, you're Lucy, you're Karen, you're Muhammad, whoever you are. Just be that person, because the group shit is fucking annoying.
Yeah, I agree completely, and I think that it's the high school lunchroom table all over again, and everybody wants to fit into one of those categories. And for me, it was nauseating to
the coolest
be
kid at the high school lunchroom table was the kid who didn't talk, and he had a huge dick, and he was rich, and he barely spoke.
Yeah,
he was the coolest.
He was failing all of his classes.
Failing all of his classes. Yeah, a huge hog, and every now and then he would just take it out and play with it at a sleepover, and everyone would just stare at it. That's the kid that was a killer.
Yeah, I know two of those kids. Literally, I know two. The exact thing we described was two kids that I grew up with in high school, and they were cool kids. They were fucking
Speaking
cool
of kids, did you read the Jeff Ross article?
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. The Jeff Ross article, you know, here's my problem.
I mean, here's the thing. We're commentators. We're expected to, like, talk about these things, right? I mean, it's like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I don't know what to tell people. It's like, you got to kind of say things.
Yeah, well, look, but Jeff, I know Jeff casually well. I've been very friendly with Jeff.
Yeah, he's been very sweet
I know Jeff more than I know Callan or Dillon or any of these guys,
I agree,
right?
Yeah. I don't know any of them, but I've never met anybody.
I don't know these people. They're fucking savages.
I gotta be honest with you.
Or they're not. Or they're great people. Who knows?
I don't know anybody that I've ever met, if that makes sense.
Timmy, you're the best. You're the best, Timmy. I don't know him.
I don't even understand. People took him at the Comedy Store the other day. I'm like, which one's that? I don't know. I get confused. I don't know. It's hilarious. Like, it's bad that he was dating. If he dated a 15-year-old and brought her out to comedy clubs, it's horrible, but it's also the funniest thing in the world that nobody said anything about it.
Well, everyone just watched it happen, like, in the comedy world. Fucking, like, but by the way, you don't understand the time that girl's talking about at the Boston Comedy Club.
Yeah.
That is like fucking peak Chappelle. That is peak Louis, Burr. All the guys were like, and Jeff was fucking players. And now look, here's the thing. This is the point that I was trying to make about, I know Jeff more than these guys, right? This is what I said about Callan. I have to say the same thing about Jeff, and it's weird because it's the opposite thing where you think I would be more willing to defend somebody that I knew a little bit better. I'm self-conscious about defending somebody that I know a little bit better. I know how that looks. I know exactly how that looks. And I'm not defending Jeff Ross, just like I didn't defend Brian Callan. But I will defend the fact that you can't necessarily just destroy somebody based off an exact accusation.
Agreed.
Somebody says something, somebody else says something. Let that process figure itself out. Now, let me tell you something. I don't know Jeff Ross well enough that if this comes out that this is true, yeah, dude, that's fucking gross. You can't go fucking, that's, it's not like I'm burning a fucking bridge. He's not my boy, time, I have to be consistent here. I have to say, look, let him, if he's saying he's going to court with this chick and he's saying she's a liar and she's saying he's a lot, like, you have to look at that and go, look at the worst case scenarios for both of those people. Worst case scenario for him. He's fucking a little girl. He dated some young chick when he was a young comic, 33 years old. It's fucking gross, right? It's a crime. I understand why he would deny that. Worst case for her. She's lying. She's trying to destroy him. She hates him for whatever reason. That's also a really fucking horrible charge. So at the same time, for all of these situations, I like to step back and reserve judgment until it's time for judgment, until you know what the fuck's up. Now, if I have to put my rape dick hat on, it doesn't look good for him. Doesn't look good for him.
It's not.
Can I tell you what I don't like? Can I tell you what I don't like?
Yeah.
Here's the one thing.
The apology was a little too good. It was a little too good, wasn't it?
The apology is whatever. Like, look, I get why look, dude, I'm going to court. I contacted a lawyer. This fucking chick is crazy.
Dude, if a 15 was like, you fucked me, I'd be like, no, I didn't, you crazy fuck. Not like the allegations that have been admitted or blah, blah, blah. Like,
that's what looks bad for me is this. When she's telling this story, she starts naming some people. Gina Savage, Jason Steinberg.
Right.
She's naming people that don't matter. These are not players. These are not names that anybody in comedy that is not.
No, this girl is definitely new. She was around. Yeah.
The point is, though, these little details. I'm a liar. Okay. I'm a fucking liar. I know how to lie. Okay.
Yeah.
She's fucking naming some details that she would have to be really good in order to fucking just throwing in a name like Jason Steinberg in that story. It does nothing for the general public. Like, it's just this little detail. Right. And just as I'm looking at it, I'm going like, whoa, okay, she's saying something that either she's a sociopathic liar or she's being honest right now, because the details she's naming right now are so specific and so just don't matter. They're not big enough. It's not like she's naming, oh, Chappelle was there and this guy was there. This guy watched this happen. She's naming people that are fucking non-existent essentially to the general public. So that makes it look, I think that makes it look bad.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with him, is that again, I don't know who he is. I've never done stand-up comedy because I feel like it's an environment that victimizes women. So I've never done it. I've never felt comfortable around these people, and I won't do it, and I don't want to be involved. That's why you haven't seen me post any dates in the last few months, and it's because that I'm an ally to the women. And it's listen, it is what it is. If it comes out that he is, I don't know him that well. I've met him. He's a sweet guy. He's, to me.
Yeah, very
probably
nice
her too, which is unfortunate.
Super sweet. Super
really
sweet.
Sweet. He bought me dinner at Veselka after Skanktastic with Andrew Schultz and a bunch of people at 4 a.m. He bought us all dinner. And it's like, it is like, here's the reality. It's like,
so you're saying Andrew Schultz is friends with him?
Yeah, that's my takeaway. But it's like, the reality is, you think about it, and I'm like, so many non-pedophiles have done nothing for me.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this guy bought me dinner. But no, hopefully this is a lie. Hopefully he's not having sex with kids. I mean, I don't know,
Even like the other side of it, like her dad, like, dude, it's just like,
he's weird. I think the dad was like trying to pimp her out. I don't know, man. I respect Brian Callen. I don't know anything about that. I've never met him. I've never done that show. And I just wish everyone the best, Louis. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm trying
to angle to get on the Fighter and the Kid. Can you please, Tim, please put in a word with Brendan Schaub for me. Tell him just to give me one shot, one episode to audition.
By the way, I think he would.
Make it happen. First of all, imagine this. If fucking next Tuesday, fans just opened up fucking Fighter and the Kid, and there I am. We don't even say shit. We just act like it's normal. Like, this is what we do, and we go straight into the show.
I will make it happen if the entire episode you refuse to talk about anything but Chris D'Elia. Like, every 3 minutes you keep bringing him up. You're like, no, the other thing about Chris D'Elia. I mean, I mean, to the point where Brendan has to beat you up on air. I'll make it happen.
I wish he didn't hate me. I feel bad.
I don't think he hates you. I've never gotten the vibe that he hates you.
No, I've teased him enough at this point where I know that he's not comfortable with me. I know he's not comfortable with me. And I mean,
he's
wish
a big
he was.
dude. Listen, dude, he's a tough dude. He's like a big
dude. Doggy, come on, bro.
He's a big. Do you? Let's be honest. You versus Brendan Schaub in a fight. There's no way you.
Dude, I'd fight.
Brendan wins, right? Hands down.
I mean, it'd be close.
No.
Obviously, it'd be close, Timmy.
You think it would be close?
Come on, Timmy.
With Brendan?
No. He's a professional fighter. Obviously, he's 6'5".
You were the one who told me how good he was. I didn't even know. You were the one who told me how good.
Whoa, you shut the fuck up. I never told you that, Tim.
You said you wanted to suck his cock. You said you said you didn't love his face, but he had probably a huge dick. By the way, if me and Lewis had a weekly podcast, within a month there would be lawsuits like you could not even understand.
No, it's better that we killed Bastard Radio when we did. It was going to cause problems in our lives.
Lawsuits, like, yeah.
You got to go put a word in with Brendan for me. I want to come on The Fighter and the Kid. I want to audition as the Kid. I think that, like, I'll leave Bisping right now. Nobody show this to Bisping. I'll leave Bisping right now for Brendan Schaub. Me and him will fucking take this whole podcasting MMA comedy thing to the next level. So, Timmy, you put in a word for him and let him know.
I will.
I'm interested.
I'll see what I can do.
See what happens.
I've never met. I've never met him or Brian, so someone will have to make an introduction, and then I'll do it.
You have mutual friends with him, so that's good.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Tim Dillon, the Tim Dillon Show.
Thank you.
Everywhere. Please go subscribe and support Tim. He's literally, all bullshit aside, one of the funniest people in the world, one of the best follows on social media or podcasting. So go support that.
Sir.
Tim, I'm going to come out to the desert and hang out with you very soon.
Please, let me know. 100%. Let me know. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.